Do you find yourself in life going against the current? You see, we've got such a mindset, our mind, that we just want to do it our way. We know better, but you can't change nature. You can't control nature. You can't cage it up. But soon enough, we as humans seem to want to feel that we can control nature. And therefore, many a time we find ourselves going against nature. I've experienced it. You experienced it. What does it feel like to you? Does it feel natural or does it feel awkward? Does it feel uncomfortable? Yes, a lot of the time when we are going against nature, it just doesn't seem right. But we are so stubborn. We're so stubborn that we want to do it our way, and we're going to persist. But sometimes we just it's become such an arduous task, or we just hit a wall, or we just fall down. Because we're just trying too hard. There's a difference between trying and overdoing it. And sometimes we have to realize that certain things happen for a certain reason. And this is what the Lord is trying to explain to us. I'm reading the Bhagavad Gita as it is, translated by Srila Prabhupada, chapter 6, verse 34. And in this verse, Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna about the turbulent wind and the turbulent mind. Our turbulent mind is no different to the turbulent wind, and you can't tame it whatsoever. We think we can. We think we're the controller. I used to think I'm the controller because my life, when in younger years, were very challenging. I was a very sensitive soul, which meant that there was a lot of things in my life that I was sensitive to. Sensitive to chemicals, electrical equipment, loads of food types, smells, certain environments. I was so sensitive. I had to control my environment. But it wasn't making life easier. Actually, it was making life harder. Not just for me, but also my family, my wife and the children in those days when I was living family life. It was challenging for me, and it's just as challenging for them because I wanted to control it because I felt I needed to protect myself. But boy, was I a fool in retrospect, because in certain times ahead, I had this realization, in order to gain control, you realise you need to lose control, because then you realise you don't need it in the first place, because I'm not God. And sometimes we behave like we are God, and we want to do it this way and that way, and only this way, my way. But no, this is not the way forward. As I learnt myself, hard lessons, hard tasks, hard life, and this is what I want to explain more in the next video. So I went through lots of hard times, trying to control the environment to make sure that I wasn't exposed to things that aren't good for me, because the sensitivity was just so heightened, I'll be flat on my back for a week. But it was an arduous task. I was just searching for this ingredient, this environment, making sure that I wasn't exposed to this and that unnecessarily. It's hard. It wasn't an easy life. Very controlling life, and therefore I was controlling the family as well, which wasn't good for them. But it was circumstantial. This is what I was doing, not knowing why it was happening, thinking just, this is who I am. At that stage in my life, I had no belief pattern to realise maybe certain things were happening for a certain reason. But no, I just wanted to deal with it, to relieve my symptoms. But I wasn't relieving my symptoms. I was just creating more of a mess in life, and more of a mess because life got very complicated, and very complicated when you need to know everything about what's happening to protect yourself. It's hard. And that's the beauty about Krishna consciousness. It's starting to begin to realize actually we're not God. We're anything but God. We might be part and parcel of God, but we don't have the same magnitude as He has. But we have got potential to increase our potency, to increase our knowledge. We see so many times my mind takes over. Maya tells us we must do this. She confuses us. She makes us worried. She makes us fearful. All the things that I was worried about getting ill was all Maya Devi, planting seeds and planting seeds and planting seeds. And those seeds were growing into plants, into trees, and fruiting thereafter. And life was very challenging. So sometimes we just have to accept that certain things are happening for a reason. And I'll come to that in one of the next videos. And because things happen for a particular reason, we don't need to confront it as being very, very negative. You see, in nature, things happen for reasons. It rains because we need rain. But we don't like it when it rains because it disturbs our arrangements in life. We want to go somewhere, we want to do something that's outside, but it's raining, so we tend to be disappointed, or we try to do something that counters what is happening. The same thing when the wind blows because it needs to clean the air. But no, we don't like it. And often we try to go against the wind. Have you ever tried sailing against the wind or swimming against the current? It's hard. It's very, very challenging to swim against the current. But we spend our life doing this. And this is why I want to try to explain why and how we come beyond it in the next video. As I explained in the last video, we tend to swim against the current, or run against the wind, or even walk against the wind. And it's blowing in our face. The wind is blowing in our face, but we're so desperately wanting to get somewhere, we just try to walk our way through the storm. And sometimes we try to control the environment, and we want to do what we want to do, but nature's trying to tell you, stop! Just stop for one moment. Take a breather, let things get a bit calmer, and then get on your way. But no, we've got to do it now, I remember years ago when I was a child, I used to like doing windsurfing. Windsurfing is like a surfboard with a sail. And when you're on a surfboard with a sail, the wind is very, very, very powerful. And sometimes you just want to get to where you want to get to. You want to go to the most direct route. And when you try to go the most direct route, you've either got the wind blowing in your face or coming from behind. If it's blowing in your face, then the sail ends up in your face. If it's blowing you from behind, it pulls you in the air and you end up flat on your face. Because you can't control the wind. The wind is so powerful, so strong, that if you just want to sail back to this beach, you can't. You can't go straight back. Sometimes you have to zigzag. The distance is longer, but the journey is much shorter. And this is what we don't realise. We always want to do the most direct route sometimes, and sometimes nature's trying to tell us, no, this is something else you need to do. You need to work it through nature's way, the Lord's way, not the way we always want to do it. And this is where we are challenged. We're stubborn, we're obstinate. My world. I want to do it my way. But I know for life that certain doors open for a certain reason, and certain doors stay closed. But again, we try pushing against it. We try to force open doors that are locked. But we try. It's challenging. And what we don't see sometimes is the doors that are open are the ones we need to go through, because they're the ones who lead us down the pathway which the Lord has designed for us. He's got a route for us. He's got a journey for us. And this is what we need to start to appreciate, is this. Sometimes we want to create our own route, we end up in a lot of problems. A lot of problems, that means that we get a little bit lost sometimes. Sometimes things get more trickier, and they don't have the fluidity and the smoothness. And we need the smoothness and fluidity, otherwise we get agitated, we get stressed out, we get anxious, we get fearful, we get worried. But the Lord is trying to show us a route, and this I want to explain to you through this next analogy of how we can follow the pathway. As I was talking in the last video, there is a pathway that the Lord has designed for us, a journey that the Lord has designed for us. And what we need to do is we need to try and find the way forward. And this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Now, in this verse, chapter 6, verse 34, the Lord is trying to explain to us that when in life, we can imagine for a moment that our material body is a car, okay? Now, our intelligence is the driver, okay? And our mind is the driving instrument. The horses is the intelligence, and the self and the mind are the ways that we try to enjoy the journey or suffer the journey. And this is what happens. This is challenging, because often when we turn around, we don't trust our intelligence enough. sometimes my mind comes in, and when we start questioning things, we start questioning the things that Lords have arranged, or things that are just happening in life for us. And this is very, 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 very difficult. And the more we go our way and not the Lord's way, the more we run into problems. Give you an example. We're driving the car. If we use our intelligence, we get to the destination in the time and on the route we're meant to. But sometimes we decide in our imagination, oh, I know a better route. Let's try this, let's try that. And then what happens is we come off the path the Lord has set for us. But the Lord says, come on, stay on the route. Use your intelligence, stay on the route. But no, my mind takes us completely off the route. And then what happens is the Lord says, okay, we go your route. And then what happens is the road gets a bit rocky. And as the road gets a little bit rocky, as in life gets a little bit rocky, and then all of a sudden we're going up and down these hills, a bit like the life ups and downs, and then all of a sudden we're getting a bit lost, just like life, and then all of a sudden, bang, we hit a wall, like we do in life. All because our mind wants to do something that goes against our intelligence and what the Lord has arranged for us. You see, we're not the controller. The Lord is the controller. The Lord has designated everything in life for a reason. Everything is happening. And it's the same thing with nature. Nature needs rain. We need rain to water the land. We need rain to clean things, to quench our thirst. We need the winds to blow all the dirt and the bad stuff away and to cleanse. We need the cold weathers because the cold kills off all the bad bacteria. And in the next video I want to explain to you how nature is beyond our control, and so is the mind if we don't do something radical about it. And this is how I want to explain the way forward in the next video. As I was saying to you, we can't control the winds, we can't control the current, we can't control the rains, we can't control the sun. Everything is happening for a reason, but often we complain. I come from England, and in England the weather is so mixed, and it's one day it's sunny, the next day it's raining, the next day it's snowing, and it's changing all the time. But whenever the sun comes out, and everyone's missed, and says we don't get much sun in this country. And the moment the sun comes out, everyone's complaining, it's too hot, it's too hot, it's too hot. You can't please some people, and this is what happens. We can't please our minds. Our minds are so wild. We want things to be our way, this way. I want it to fit into my plans, my arrangements of life. I behave like I am God, but I am not God, and neither are you. And this is what the Lord is trying to explain to us. You can't control the wind by just deciding I'm going to control it. But what we can do is we can do something that's just going to pacify the mind and actually start to quieten Maya Devi. And the one thing that does this is by focusing on serving the Lord. Through serving the Lord, devotional service, through chanting his name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You see, in your day-to-day life, we don't have enough solid things to focus on. We just go from one thought to another thought to another thought and another thought, from a thought to an action, and onwards and onwards. We go through this whole cycle throughout a day, and therefore we don't ever have time to focus our mind on one particular thing, and therefore Maya finds all the gaps. So every gap in every thought allows Maya to pop her head up and interfere with the flow of things, and puts question marks in your mind, puts fears and worries and anxieties and challenges. But the moment you have something to focus on, and only focus on that one thing, that thing that is pure, that thing that is full of goodness, then Maya Devi doesn't have the space to pop in. And this is really important to understand. The Maya, she is an opportunist, just like you are, and just like I am, or I used to be more in my life. She's an opportunist, and like you, she likes to gain an opportunity to have something that she wants her way, like you do. Alright? Now, in this final video, I'm going to explain to you the way forward so that we find that we're going with the wind rather than against the wind. Hare Krishna. This is the final video, I hope. about going with the flow rather than against the flow. Every time we give space for Maya Devi to pop her head up and start yapping, she will take the opportunity. And not only will she yap, she'll get caught up in this cycle. It's a bit like what we call in the old-fashioned days a scratch record. She'll go round and round in a second. So if you've got an obsessive mind like I have, my mind used to be wild, but I've now found that through Krishna consciousness, I can use my obsessiveness to just to be even more devotional and more devotional. And it's all in the mode of goodness rather than the mode of ignorance and passion, which is what it used to be for me. So, the more we focus on the Lord's name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. The more we chant the Lord's name, the more we read about Him, the more we listen to it, the more we do kirtan, the more we talk about it, and talk about Lord Krishna's pastimes, we're giving our mind a pure focus. It's a focus of goodness. And the more you fill up your mind with a focus of goodness and purity, the less room there is for Maya Devi. And then you have you're planting these seeds that are growing and growing, and all of a sudden Maya can't get through all the plants trying to get through you. And these plants are growing beautiful sunflowers, for instance. They're not the weeds that Maya Devi plants in us, and therefore we end up trying to get out of these entrapped weeds in our life. But no, we have this more pure side, these beautiful sunflowers that shine in the sun and glow in the sun and open up. And it's very, 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 very beautiful. And this is what the Lord is trying to say to us. Go with something that's meaningful, that's purposeful, that adds quality to your life rather than the mundane, or just allowing the space just to do whatever the Maya mind wants to do, and then we just end up with a life of chaos. And just going from one thought to the next thought, to the next thought, to the next thought, to the next action, to the next place, just doing things and getting to habits and getting to bad habits, when all of a sudden, when we have this focus, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This little space from Maya Devi, she'll still try to pop up, I can assure you now, but the fewer spaces that are in your moments, in your day, in your week, in your month, in your year, the less opportunity she gets to entangle herself in our lives. And slowly we go with nature rather than going against nature, and slowly but surely life becomes even more beautiful.